Jim, crypto news now here. It is August 18th. What is going on in these markets? Let's look at the Bitcoin price action. Currently, it is at 116K. We did break out of these little doji candles here, and I was breaking down onto the downside. It did tap 115K, which was liquidity. And I think my current market bias is that we will just continue to follow this red path for now. That's the most likely. We're probably going to see one of these small little blips around here where it turned red on the bands a little bit, and that's probably what's going to happen to Bitcoin here temporarily. And what I do think is 112, 110K is next for Bitcoin, but there's also a chance that this is bottomed here and this is a fake out on the bands retest, because if we look at the liquidation heat map, well, first of all, with Ethereum, I think Ethereum is probably still going to go lower to tap this liquidity at 4180. We are currently very, very close to that. The shorts up here have pretty much closed their shorts, I guess, which means there might be a longs that will make this go lower. So if I were to give the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, if this can load really fast, is that Bitcoin, it pretty much just took the liquidity here at 115, 114K, and this alone can support a thesis to actually just go higher from here. Like Bitcoin could be bottom here just because there's nothing lower at 110, 112K. There's not that much liquidity here, and we already took it down here. So there's a chance that the market might be bottom today, and then everything just goes higher, and we'll reclaim the 4-hour bands, and we are back to Valhalla. And if that does happen, and we respect this trend line here on Bitcoin, that is pretty fucking bullish. We might see this green path instead, where instead of it going from there, it starts from like here. This is possible as well. So yeah, what I will say is that there is two ways this can go here. It either goes up or it goes down. But if I were to like assign probabilities, it's pretty 50-50, honestly. But if we do see Bitcoin go higher, then Ethereum will go higher. But I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say that, because there is also a case where Bitcoin can go higher from here, and we'll see a bit of Bitcoin dominance here. Well, Ethereum just goes lower anyways to tap that liquidity. So it could just be that Bitcoin is bottomed here while Ethereum is not, and it still has to bottom and go lower. So there's that consideration to have as well. But I'm not really sure what will make it go lower to 112K, just because there's not that much. There's like a little bit of liquidity it could tap down here. So just keep that in mind. I'm not a seer on the market here. I'm just saying what I'm seeing of the current data. And there's a decent chance that Bitcoin is bottomed here, but Ethereum is not, and Ethereum goes lower. But yeah, that's kind of just my analysis on this current market conditions. So Solana, yeah. What I think for the altcoins is that if we do see Ethereum go lower, we might see a little fake out on the green bands going red temporarily, and then it goes higher later. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance here, it's also just chopping lower. So as I said, the thesis that it won't just completely dagger down like that is holding true, where it's more of a choppy path lower instead of a straight dagger down, because of this Bitcoin cycle. This is a Bitcoin cycle, not really a crypto cycle. So yeah, that's pretty important to consider. If I were to look at some of these altcoins, so if I were to update on the tokens that I like on this, so this Frick token still fine. It's just pulling back after breaking out. This Gomu token also fine. I do think this will go higher here. I did a little bit of a take profit levels on these, because I think what I was previously considering them for them to go much higher is a little ambitious. What I think is more probable is that this will go lower to like, or higher to previous all-time highs and resistance here. Good to take 90% TP on this and leave a moon bag in case it does go to billions, which I don't know if that will happen. This Gomu token, also similar spiel here, around 4 mil, would take 90% off this. And this Please token, this one's a pure gamble, just because price action, it doesn't really trend here. It's pretty much mean reverting down in this shitty choppy hole. But I did some line analysis, and there's possibility that this is the pure Pico bottom, and if there's like a Van Trump narrative, this can do something stupid. But yeah, around 30 mil would be the ideal target in that case then, or could go a little bit higher. But yeah, that's my own opinion on this. So yeah, the only ones that are trending right now in terms of meme coins are just Gomu and Frick, and I think they will continue the trend. And in terms of other altcoins, an update on virtuals is that virtuals is still in this bottoming range, so I did draw this line here. If we do see Ethereum go lower to 4180, then we can also expect a dump from virtuals. It will probably dump from 800 million to 62, which would be like a 15% pullback. But if we do get this is probably the generational bottom on virtuals. If Ethereum is not bottomed here and it goes lower, that will be the generational bottom, and I would look to buy some tokens there personally. And Kita, this one, it's probably bottom around here. I'm just going to be calling bottoms in this fucking video. But if Ethereum does lower, then yeah, it was going to refill this wick and then retest this previous support, which will probably be a great entry point. So I'm just saying my thesis that once Ethereum, if it does hit 4180, which is higher probability, then that is probably your best bet to buy altcoins and go for this final wave of the rally. I also did some updating on the take profit levels on Ethereum. So I was doing some align analysis, and around here, because I have a spot long on Ethereum, and I think it will hit new all-time highs, but it's this consensus that people want 10K, and chart-wise, that'll be pretty fucking insane. I don't know what will happen for it to go to 10K, but all-time highs are like 5,000, 6,000, so in this cross-section green area. So what is that? 5,300 to 7,200 is probably your take profit zone for Ethereum, and I'm not trying to time it. I'm going to dollar cost average over like 2 weeks for this personally, my whole Ethereum, and then just sit in cash probably, or go to Bitcoin or whatever the fuck is going on there. We'll see when the market presents itself, but it's a bit jumbled on if it's going to go up or down. Just consider that there is a decent probability to probably go lower still. So yeah, I just want to talk about this news here that somebody who is into cryptocurrency since 2010, who was an early contributor to Bitcoin, is now doing paid promotion for Solana rug pulls for $5,000 is insane. Yeah, so there's this guy named Peter Todd. He was shilling this Solana token for $5,000 and got rugged. And let's just say that these people, like, just because someone's early onto this and they made money off of a token early doesn't mean they're going to keep the wealth, because making the money and then keeping it is very, very different. So yes, just be careful about these people out there, man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm saying in this video. Pretty short one today. Not that much to talk about. If we do see Ethereum lower, as I repeat, to 4180, I think that is a opportune moment to fill altcoin bags, because if that is a generational bottom, that will be the generational bottom. It's probably going to follow this red path where it goes like this and then retest the bottom again, and then we're going to see this grind move higher, and then eventually see Ethereum go up to, as I said, around 5,200 to 6,300, just based off this price action line analysis for take profit levels. But yeah, that's my current bias on this, and it would be well in line with it retesting the EMAs as well, 4180. And usually when it hits that, like last time here, it was the generational bottom, and we could see another one of these insane fucking rallies higher for Ethereum. And I think once we get that rally, that's probably going to be the final rally, and that is going to probably be the end of the bull run cycle, in my own opinion, like this alt cycle, like assuming Ethereum goes up all the way up here to 6,000, 7,000. So this could genuinely be one of the last times to make money in crypto for many, many months, at least in the altcoin cycle. Of course, in the long term, the only investment is Bitcoin, but in terms of playing like altcoins and shit, this is probably one of the last pushes before we enter a multi-year bear market. So yeah, I just want to give that analysis right here. That's what I'm saying in this video. So basically, might go lower, might go up, might be bottom. I don't know. But yep, I'll see you guys.